Hello friends. Nowadays, mainly all the developers use the GitHub for the version controlling, and some confusion regarding some GitHub tools and other functionality of the GitHub. So this is the video related to the GitHub fundamentals. So this video will cover in two part. First part will be the fundamental, and the second part will be the advanced logic of that GitHub. So in this video, we will learn about the GitHub fundamentals. So we will cover the basically GitHub introduction, types of repository of GitHub, branch management, and how we can manage the pull requests. So this is the related to the fundamental of the GitHub. So let's start with the GitHub introduction. Yes, so what is the GitHub? The GitHub is a user-friendly interface to manage the source code. GitHub is the for-profit company that offers a cloud-based Git repository hosting service. That means GitHub is a cloud-based Git repository management tool. So now the question is, what is the Git? What is the Git and how Git will work in the GitHub? So first question is that what is the Git? So Git is the open source version control system. So now what is the version control? Version control means manage the code for the different branches with the multiple commits. By version control, we can track and manage the code changes. Like with example, suppose you commit something today, and after a few days, another developer need to commit something same in the same code. Means you committed something, and another developer wants to change the thing, but he doesn't know what is the impact of that code, why it was written for this particular line. So he can go with the track and see who committed this thing, and by the description and title he can understand why this line will be written, why this line was written. So we can understand version control by this, managing the commits and managing the commits via the branches, different type of branches and different type of commits. By that we can control our code as a version control system, one commit and then after the second commit and then after the third commit. So we can manage the multiple versions with the environments, like a production environment we can use for the QA environment. For the developer purpose we use some different environment. So we can manage the code, we can manage the version of the code by the GitHub, means by basically by Git. So let's start with the GitHub. So this is the GitHub site. I already logged in into the GitHub. So this is the my personal GitHub repositories, and now we are going to the understanding about the repository. So repository is a one type of the projects. You can manage the code. Some you can manage the multiple projects in the multiple repositories. Suppose you have the front end project, so you use the front end repository. You have the backend APIs. You can declare as a backend repository as a separate thing. So these are the things as a repository. So mainly GitHub give us the two types of repository. I'm going to create a new repository here. So the repository we can say is a GitHub demo. So this is the repository name GitHub demo, and we can add any description for this. So now you can see that there are two types of repository. One is the public repository and one is the private repository. So what are the difference between these two? So first thing is the public repository. Public repositories means you can add your code publicly, means anyone can access your code, means anyone can access your repository. So this is the public repository. But if you are working for the organization, or you have own organization and you want to just code for yourself, not for the publicly, you can write as a private repository. So here the public and private, there are two types of repository GitHub providing. So this is the public and this is the private repo. So I'm going to the create a public repository and create a repository. So as simple as the repository has been created. So this is the GitHub repositories. The name is the GitHub demo. Now this is the fundamental video. So this is the video related to the Visual Studio, and you can directly commit via the git commands like a git commit, git fetch, git pull. You can use that commands, but this is the fundamental video, so we can use that our Visual Studio for the understanding. So I am opening the Visual Studio here. Continue without the code. And now I'm going to the git changes and clone the repository. So it's asking me about the repository location. First I'm going to add the location here as this. So you can see the location means this is the git URL. You can take that as a source repository, and the path will be our local storage path. So I'm using this GitHub folder and create a one folder here, GitHub, and select that folder. Add a new folder, demo, select folder that. Yes, so after in the demo folder we will clone the repository and cloning it. So you can see the repository has been cloned, and you can see the main branch is here. So this is the basic thing of the repository. We clone the repository from Visual Studio. Now I'm going to add something here, like we can add one folder. First we open this and we will add one folder here. Add a new folder, and folder name should be like demo folder. In the demo folder I'm adding one HTML file, test.html. So you can see we added the HTML file here and the one folder, and it's you can see here 4 changes are there related to our adding the folder and other stuffs. So how to commit these changes, and what about the branches? So first we just go through with the commit, and then we will deeply understand about the branches and branches management. So first we will commit this change as a main branch. First main branch is the our production branch, or any branch related to GitHub, which will be automatically selected when anyone can clone the repository. So main branch is the main of the GitHub repository. So first we commit our changes in the main branch. So just adding some notes here, like added a new files, commit stage, and you can see here commit stage and push, commit stage and sync. So commit stage, what is the meaning of commit stage? Commit stage means you commit in the local machine. Whenever you doing the commit stage, it will be automatically commit your code into the local machine. It will not push to the GitHub cloud. So when you are going to the push the code into the cloud, you can use the git stage and push. If you think like that, this is only for the local machine and you will commit all the changes at one time, So you can use the commit staged, and after then you can use the push. So I'm going to use the commit stage and push because we need to push our code to the cloud server. What is the commit stage and syncs? So commit stage and sync means the your code will be pushed and the latest code will be spool. So first latest code will be pull in your machine, and then all the commit will be pushed to the server. So currently I am doing the commit stage and push. So our first commit has been pushed to the Git cloud. So we can see here, now I'm just refreshing this page and you can see the branches main. Yes, so here you can see the all the branches whatever you created. So this is the main branch. So main branch has been committed, and you can see the commit file here, like one commit is there and the folder is demo folder, and another thing is that folder has the one test html file. So this is the our GitHub repository, private public repository GitHub demo. Yes, so one thing is here. After that, these are the pull and push. So what is the meaning of the pull and what is the meaning of the push? So suppose you are working with the team members, or you are working for the multiple branches. So suppose you and your colleague, means both are working on the same branch, like feature one branch, and you committed something, and he wants to pull that things. That times he will do the pulling, means go to the your branch feature one and pull the code. So it will be pulling the code from cloud to his machine. After that he will doing some changes and commit something new. So at that time, before you are doing the any changes, you can pull your branch again, feature one branch again. So the your colleagues changes will be automatically pulled into your local machine, and you can now doing the your changes and you can push the code again. So this is the symbol of the push, this is the symbol of the pull, and this is the fetch. So what is the difference between fetch and pull? So fetch will automatically pull the commits, not a pulling the commit, sorry. Fetch will install the commits into your system, means he will means commit will be display here, like 5 commits are there, but you need to pull those. So fetch will just displaying the commits, 5 commits you need to pull. So when you are fetch that things, it will be displaying the incoming 5 commits, like incoming 5 commits, and then you need to once again the pulling that commits. Or you can use the sync button. Sync button will be doing like first pull the commits, and then after the push your outgoing commits. You can see here the incoming and outgoing commit. So if we suppose I'm just doing one thing here, adding the html tag here, okay, and now just doing staging, means whatever you want to add, whatever you want to commit the things, you need to stage that first. So I'm going to stage that things, so it will be all stage changes. And I'm just doing adding comment, like add html tag, okay, and I'm just doing the commit staged. So this is committed into my local machine. So you can see here one outgoing coming is here. So you need to push that coming, because whenever you are committing your changes into the local machine, it may be crash your local machine. So the your commits may be destroyed, or maybe you can think like that another person not able to view your commits. So whatever you are committing in the local machine, it's a better practice to push to the cloud server. So main thing is of the git is you are doing the changes and push onto the cloud, so not in the your local machine. Every time you need to push it to the cloud server. So when you are doing the sync button, or when you are trying to use the push button, it will be automatically push your commit on the cloud server. So after that it will be 0. Yeah, so it will be 0, and when you are coming here, and you can see here that there are to be 2 commits. You can see here that there are the two commits. One commit will be one commit was committed 1 minute ago. Yeah, so this is the pull and push functionality of the GitHub. Now we move ahead with the other functionality. Organize the branches. So basically what means the branches, organizing the branches. As per the discussion previously, we talk about like we are version controlling the, we are means GitHub used for the version controlling for the multiple environments. So suppose you have the multiple environments like a dev environment, QA environment, a production environment. So you can create a branches like develop branch, QA branch, and the release branch or the production branch. So by that, the developer can doing the developing on the develop branch. After that developing is successfully done, we can merge develop branch to the QA branch, and QA will test everything on the QA environment. And then if the QA give the sign off, I means it's successfully tested, then we can move this code to the production branch or a release branch. So we can merge the QA branch to the production branch. So these are the branch management system, means we can use the branches for the managing our code. So developing branch will not affect it to the QA branch, and QA code will not affect to the production branch. So if have any problem on the production, and that we might not have on the QA, then might not have the developing. So these are the environment related branches. After that we can create the feature branches. So what is the meaning of the feature branches? Feature branching, suppose you are doing one feature like our registration feature, and the another person is working on the login feature, another person is working on the card feature. So you can create multiple feature branches like a login, register or card. And after that you can create a pull request and merge it into the develop branch. So all the three features will be committed to the develop branch at the end of whatever your commits are done, or whatever your development is done. So these are the feature branches, means you can add the feature branches whatever you are working on that feature. So the best practice is that you have the different environment branches as well as the feature branches whatever you are working on it. So after that feature branches, you need to commit that code into the develop branch, and after develop to the upper level of the environments. One more functionality means one more branch like a bug fix branches. So the bug fix branches means after the developing any feature, or after the developing or merging into the develop branch, and then QA doing the testing, and we means we got some bugs. So at that time we can create the branch from the develop or the QA as a bug fix branch, and we will fix that bugs, and then after we can push it to the develop or as well as the QA branches. So this is the branches related to the bug fixing, or every bug we can doing like this. We can use the bug fix branches. Another is the branch is the hotfix branches. So hotfix is the not a big deal. It's a one type of the branch, not a big deal. But what is the meaning of the hotfix? Now suppose your QA give your sign off, and by mistake anything is missing, or it will be affect on the production server by any changes or by anything, some bug we can see on the production or in the QA server or in the staging server. So at that time we are not merging your in the code to the develop branch and develop to QA to staging or staging to production. At that time, because all the branches have the different code. Developing branch has the more commits than the QA branches. QA branch has more commits than the staging branches. So we are not directly push our code to the develop and then the to the upper level of the environment as a production. So at that time, what we can do, we can create a branch from the production branch. Okay, we can create a branch from the production branch, and we can fix that bug, and we can create a pull request. We can merge that change into the first production branch, and after the successfully testing, we can merge our production branch to the lower level branches, to the like a staging branch, after that the QA branch, and then after the develop branch. So this is the functionality called the hot fix. Means whatever fix we need to on the whatever environment, we can do is like a hot fix, like on the production server or on the staging server. On the develop server, no need the hotfix, because develop branch is the for the developer purpose. So developer need to doing the bug fixing branch, and we can merge into the develop branch. For the hotfix, means for the production server or the staging server, we can create a hotfix branches as well. So after this, we are going to the see the branches, how we can create the branches. So first I'm going to the GitHub. So you can create a branches here as well, like I'm going to create a develop branch. So you can see that create a branch develop from the main branch. So I'm going to create a branch. So you can see the develop branch has been created. So there are the two branches, develop and main branch. So yes, we can create the branches here as well. Also we can create the branches from here as well, like if we want to the create a new branch as a QA branch, so we can create here a new branch as a QA branch from the main branch. And yes, so we can create a new branch as a QA branch, and then anything whenever you are pushing any changes, like adding some head and body tag, and just doing the commit on the QA branch. So here I'm going to add the commit on the QA branch, adding changes on QA. So adding this file first, and then going to the stage and push. So this branch has been pushed on the GitHub with this commit. So you can see here there are be three branches right now. One is develop branch, one is main branch, and one is the QA branch. Now what is the naming conversation for the feature branch? So mostly we can create the feature branch like features slash, suppose we are creating the registration feature, or we have the any Jira stories, so we can add the Jira number with that, or we can use any ticketing system, we can use that ticket number and then small description. Suppose we have one ticket like 123 121, and like this we can use a feature slash registration. So this is a feature branch, and whatever changes you want to do, you can add into the feature branch and then commit to the develop branch. So this is the feature branch we have created, feature 121 registration. One more thing is here, try to understand, always you need to use the lower level cache for the branches, because Git is not understanding the upper level or the lower level cases, because it's a Linux related system. So both the upper and the lower, both branches are the different. So suppose you created the upper level branch and you try to commit in the lower level coding, lower level branch name, so that might be getting some issue. So best practice is that you just use the lower level case for the branches creation. So always use the lower case for the branch creation. So now I am doing the sync, and we can see going to the main branch and pulling the changes. So in the local machine, you can see there are the two branches, main and QA. Because we use that main and QA branch in the local machine, and we push the code to the server cloud. So these two are the local branches. But whenever you want to the pull the latest branches from the cloud, you need to use the remote. So you can see here the four branches here. I'm going to create a one means I'm going to use this feature branch. Suppose you are going to the featuring, means you created one feature, registration feature. Okay, so now you can see this file has no HTML code and other things, right? So this is the basic thing we need to understand, because we committed on the QA branch. So first we need to pull that record into the our develop branch or the feature branch. Okay, so let's see, we can ignore this because we are going to the merge the after the pull request, and we can see the some conflicts. So it's interesting for us, so let's ignore this. First we are going to add the head, then title, demo of GitHub, and some body with h1, first dem part 1. First we are doing part 1. Okay, so some basic HTML I have added here, and I'm just doing the commit into the feature branch. So first I'm going to commit on some basic HTML and commit and stage and push. Okay, so this branch has been updated with this commit. So now after that the feature has been updated into the feature branch, now we need, means we need to merge into the develop branch. So we can use the pull request. What is the meaning of the pull request? Pull request means you can compare the your two branches and merge that branch into the single branch. Means your commits will be merged to the source to the destination branch. So suppose currently we created the feature 1, and now it's time to the merge into the develop branch and upper level branches. So now we can create the pull request like a compare and pull. So here you can see the new pull request. I'm going to create a new pull request. So this is the source branch and this is the destination branch. So please keep in mind, source branch is your feature branch and the destination branch is the develop branch, like that. So I'm going to use the feature branch as a source branch, and then here we can use the develop branch. So this is the functionality we are merging the creating pull. So before the creating pull request, you can see the commits changes as well, files changes. You can see here the one commit and one file change. So I'm going to create a pull request, some basic HTML, and some you can add some description as well. So create a pull request here. Also this is the pull request for the committing your feature branch changes to the develop branch. Okay, so best practice is to always you can create a pull request, and reviewer review that changes, and the reviewer can give the any review changes, and you need to, means once again change that things, and other part we can discuss, and then you can merge out on the develop branch or any other branch. So you can add here the reviewer name. Suppose you have any working as an organization, so you can add the reviewer name, and reviewer can directly open these files and then add some review comments, like here he can add some comments and start the reviewing, and it will be not an issue. You can see it like a first, suppose reviewer giving some comments, start review, then adding some more comments here as well, and and then it will be uh, sent for the review us, and we need to commit, I mean, we need to resolve that conversations. So after the you get some comments from the reviewer, you need to change that your code, and then after if successfully change, you can resolve the conversation with some additional comments like that, and you can just resolve the conversation. So this is the process of the reviewing. You can review your commits before the merging anything into the upper level of the branch. So it's a best practice to review your commits by anyone, by your reviewer, like your TL or any architecture or architect level person. So after that, we can merge this pull request. So once when we merge this pull request, confirm merge, your commit will be added into the develop branch. So now I'm just clicking on the develop branch and see, you can see the develop branch has the demo folder, and the demo folder has the HTML file, and the HTML file has the your commit of whatever you added into the feature branch. Also you can see the commits here as well. So when you open the this, you can see the develop branch has the 4 commits. You can click here, so you can see the merge the pull request from develop feature branch to the develop branch. This is the commit. Okay, so by this you can create a multiple commits, and you can merge into the another branch. So now I'm going to create a one more pull request. So I'm creating the one more pull request. So going to the pull request, add a pull request. Now I'm going to the pull request from develop to the QA branch, and just create a pull request and adding some like a merged code from develop to QA, and just doing the create a pull request. So you can see here there are the some conflicts. You can see the you need to resolve some conflicts here. So what is the conflicts? And I already told you some interesting thing will be happen. So this is the conflicts because we changed the code in the feature branch. We added the head and the body part in the feature branch, and then we merge into the develop branch and develop to the particularly QA branch. So these are the conflicts. You can resolve the conflicts here as well by doing these multiple changes and remove that, and we can add only one, or you can doing this conflict changes by simple via Visual Studio. Like suppose you need to resolve the conflict for the QA branch. So first we are going to pull the changes from the QA branches, then after that we will go for the main branch, sorry, we will go for the develop branch because we are merging from develop to QA. Take the latest code from for the develop branch, and now the conflict is the develop to QA. When we merging the develop to QA, we are getting the conflict. So we are in the develop branch, and now merge our QA code to the develop branch. So merge into the current branch. So I'm selecting the QA and right click on and merge into the current branch. So you can see here, are you sure want to merge the QA to develop? So whatever changes for the QA branches, because QA branch is the upper level branch, and the all the develop changes are there into the QA branch, but some conflicts are there. So we are going to the resolve that. So we are merging the upper level branch to the lower level branch to resolve the conflict. So I'm here doing the yes, and it's, you can see, yeah, whenever I click on here you can see the what is the conflict. So yeah, we know that develop changes are the main changes, so we can use the these changes. First I'm doing the, you can see here the one conflict, and I'm just clicking here and you can see the 0 is remaining, and now I'm accept the merge. So this conflict has been resolved, and I'm just pushing this change. So conflict has been resolved, and it pushed to the main branch. So let's see. Here, go for the pull request, open that pull request. Still it's conflicting. Where is commit all and push? Once again we can doing same thing, merge. Yo, so you can see here the conflicts has been resolved, and you can see the changes whatever we changes to the develop to the QA. So we can choose the changes and we can merge the changes into the QA branch. One more thing is here, you can see this drop down, create a merge commit, squash merge, rebase merge. So we will see the difference between these different type of merge request in the next video. So just I'm going to the merge this pull request and merge the branch from develop to QA. You can delete the branches after the merging completed, but make sure your environment branch will not be deleted. So make sure before the delete the branch, only feature branch you can delete, not the any environment branch, because environment branch is required for the environment deployment. So make sure before the delete the branch, you just think only the feature branch or bug fix branch or hotfix branch you can delete. So this is the video related to the GitHub fundamentals. We covered the things of the what is a GitHub, what is the repository, pull request, branch management, what is the sync, pull, push, and other small stops. So if you like this video, you can subscribe the channel. If you are watching the first time your my channel, so you can subscribe this channel and like the video, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.